Okay, so I'm gonna be showing you the settings I'm currently using at the moment. Now I'm using 5.4 linear small. The first thing is I'm using look dead zone on small, not none, because I have a little bit of stick drift on linear. But if you don't have any stick drift at all, use none. I'm using 5.4. I like to have my sensitivity a little bit higher so I can move, it feels a bit more loose. You know, if you don't care about like movement sensitivity, definitely play on 4.4. I think that'd be better for most people. But for me personally, I like 5.4. I like to look around faster, just personally for me. And now I switched to linear and I think it is better than classic. Obviously, it is preference. So I'm gonna go over what's better and why I think linear is better. I just think there's more pros to it than in classic. So one of my previous videos, I said classic was very good, and it is. For your basic user, classic is always going to be better. It'll be easier to get used to. Now with classic, it has more aim assist to it, so it's much more stiff movement, but the aim assist on it is really good, right? But with linear, it's kind of the opposite. There's less aim assist, but the movement is more loose. And now I feel like it's better using linear because with that looseness, it's just easier for you to track your shots. Because when you have aim assist, let me show you. When you have more aim assist like classic, you're very stable, right? It's hard to like when you're on the target, it's fine, but when you're trying to track the target, it's hard to move around and track them. Right? It's hard to be precise when tracking, which you still can do, but just not as fluid. But if you switch to linear, it's not gonna be as like on them, but tracking wise, you can just track so much easier. Especially if you need to use sights like I use a hollow. But tracking on a hollow is just so much easier. You have so much more freedom movement than you do on classic. Now obviously when it comes to situations, some situations tracking is gonna be easier or harder. But I just think for the majority it's gonna be easier with linear. Also, with a 3 times, I find 3 times on like scope easy to use on like flatlines or R301s compared to classic. If I use like a R3 and I use it 3 times, or just any sight, to be honest, if I switch it to classic, I mean, it says firing range, so it will be a bit harder to show on firing range. For how I feel personally, I feel like, see, I was lasery, but I didn't one clip him because it's so stiff. I can't move left to right as much as I want to. So even though it's accurate, if the target moves, which they will be on like actual pubs or ranked, it's gonna be hard to like fully track them, right? So it still is good, but I just find it like too stiff. Switch to linear, I can just move around so much better. The M6 ain't as strong, but at the same time, you don't need it. Cause I'm telling you, using a R301 and flatline on linear is going to be easier than using it on classic. And using it on classic, it's going to be good. Like SMGs are going to be so much better on classic. But it's like, what's like more realistic? You know, only using close range weapons or using close range weapons and range weapons. And I feel like having the balance is going to be more beneficial to you. If you're running like a car 301, you know, on classic, yeah, it's going to be good close range, but when you're far range, it's going to be hard to hit those shots. A little bit harder. But with linear, close range shots, you can just track easier, in my opinion, easier to track. And then long range shots, it's also easier, I feel like, on this input. So that's why I think linear is better personally for me. It's still a preference, you know. Give it a week or play a couple days with it, see how you feel. Obviously, the sensitivity thing you have to get used to and know your sensitivity, match it well with your input. But yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I feel linear is better than classic. That's just my opinion. So hopefully this does help you choose what input you want to play on, classic or linear. But I will say only classic or linear. I would not recommend playing steady, fire aim, or high velocity. None of them at all. If you're gonna play one, definitely linear or classic. I personally prefer linear. So yeah, I hope this video did help you out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.